Hi guys, my name is João. I'm an Portuguese SLA. I'm here back in Portugal, I'm not in London. And I'm doing this kind of series, these kind of tutorials, together with Lucas, another Portuguese SLA that you must have heard about by now. And yeah, so doing a kind of series so you can have this always online. So if you have any questions about the topics that we are going to talk about, you can come and check these videos about with two guys talking about filmmaking and stuff, because we understand a lot of this. So today I'm here to talk to you about lenses. Yeah, I have here with me a 35mm Samyang 35mm. But let's start from the beginning and let's talk about how the focal length of the lenses affect your storytelling, and what's your best choice and how the lenses affect your images. So how and why should you choose this lens or another lens? The most common ones are the wide angle lenses like a 16mm or the telephoto lens like a 200mm. But you have these ones, the 35mm from 35 to 70. They are the normal length lenses. And the 35 is like the human eye. Basically, the 35 sees what a human eye sees. What does the wide angle lenses does to people's faces and the telephoto lens does to people's faces? So the wide angle lenses distort the people's faces and they look unnatural. I say this, it distorts people's face and everything because the distortion depends from the distance from your subject to the camera. The telephoto lenses flattens the human face, your subject, as the example that I'm going to show you now. There's also a difference between the wide angle and the telephoto lenses in the background, in the distance from the subject to the background. So the wide angle lens distorts the background and there's a bigger separation. With the wide angle lens there's a bigger separation from the subject to the background. So the background seems further away, and with the telephoto lens the background compresses into the subject, so it looks a lot closer to the subject, to me. Like I'm filming with the 35mm now, but I don't have a lot of distance behind me, so everything will look closer to me. But if I had like 30 meters away from behind me, you notice the difference between a telephoto lens and the wide angle lenses. A normal focal length, we would say that is around 35 to 70mm. Before 35, like 24 or 16, you start to get that distortion. And after 70, you need to start having a lot of space for your subject, otherwise you aren't able to use that lenses. But if you want to do like macro shots, like if you want to film this hand with focus, you can't with these lenses because it's a 50mm lenses that I'm shooting with. And with these lenses you can't do it, but if you have a 100mm lenses, you can film like 20 centimeters away from the lenses or even less. So that's why we call between the 35 to the 70mm the normal focal length to the lenses. Normally you would use a wide angle lens in the beginning of your films, in your first shot, like 24mm or 16mm, to do an establishing shot, so the audience knows where they are, and you engage the attention from the audience with that establishing shot. The 35mm is one of the most used lenses because I told you before it's like the human eye, and with these lenses you still have a lot of angle of view, and you don't have that distortion from the 24mm or the 60mm. Lenses like 70mm or 85mm are lenses that are most commonly used for portraits, like in photography, because they are the ones that make the human face look more natural. Yeah, the beauty that you see here, it's not that beauty because I'm shooting with the 50mm. But if I was shooting with an 85mm, I would look even more pretty. I'm just gonna switch lenses from the 35mm to the 50mm so you can see how it influences the image. You'll see that I have a lot of more angle of view. And yeah, I'm gonna do like the TikTokers do now. So I hope this works. Did it work? I hope it worked. I hope I'm still in the same place. So as you can see, we have more of an angle of view with these 35 millimeters. And yeah, I think that's it. I'm using a 50 millimeters from Sony because I have a Sony camera. The Samyang needs an adapter from Canon to Sony, but that's something we can talk in another episode. Hi guys, so this is a fast note because I was here editing and you see that it's a different day, and I noticed that I forgot to mention the sensor sizes and how they affect your lenses. So this is something that we can talk more about when we talk about cameras, but most of the cameras that you shoot nowadays, they are full frame, but you have APS sensors. But if you put that 50 millimeters in an Micro Four Thirds sensor, your 50 millimeters passes to 100 millimeters. If you put your 50 millimeters in an APS sensor, that passes from 50 millimeters to 72 millimeters. And to see that crop factor that it happens sometimes when you are not using full frame sensors. Hope you enjoyed this mini tutorial. I hope you'll keep up with me and with that Lisbon guy called Lucas. I don't like him a lot, but we'll have to deal with that guy. Bye guys.